Today we're going to be talking about Jordan Poole and the fact that I think the Warriors were expecting too much from Poole, a player who in my eyes was not ready to shoulder the load that was given to him. It's a testament to why I believe the organization is on the downfall. The decision to essentially hand Poole the keys to the kingdom, or in this case, the keys to the Warriors dynasty, was a risky gamble that I believe ultimately led to the crumbling of the franchise in the postseason. The point is that the Warriors' investment into Poole was significant, and this, in my opinion, was the main mistake that the organization made. It's not that Poole is a terrible player, but rather the expectation and the role that were given to him were just too much for him to handle at this point in his career. Now in this video, we're going to be taking a deep dive into all things Jordan Poole and how his time with the Warriors may have played a significant role into ruining their dynasty. So if you're a basketball fan or just a Warrior fan looking for answers to what went wrong, stay tuned and let's dive into it all. Last year, I cheered for the Warriors as they faced off against the Boston Celtics, yet my eyes were truly focused on one player in particular who I considered a ticking time bomb, who is Jordan Poole. Now, the aftershocks were felt even stronger when Draymond Green threw a punch at him in the offseason. Was this the straw that broke the camel's back? Don't misconstrue my words here. Jordan Poole is not a bad player. Actually, he's far from it. But if we're going to point the finger as to why the Warriors missed the championship mark this year, he's the prime suspect in the lineup. Yes, the roster is plagued with issues, but the prime spotlight here is their hefty investment in young talent, with Poole being the main problem here. On paper, the Warriors' offense this season was impeccable, ranking amongst the top 10 in both points per game and offensive rating. Yet their glory was often overshadowed by Jordan Poole's turbulent performance. He scored a career-high points, but his efficiency took a nosedive. Despite scoring an average of 20 points per game, his game isn't as rosy as the stats may suggest. Now, let's take a hard look at the cracks in his offense. Poole's game is as unpredictable as a ticking time bomb. One play, he's dazzling with a perfect shot from behind the arc. The next, he's ignoring Curry as he calls for the ball and instead decides to take a deep three-point shot in which Curry can't even believe what just happened, gets so frustrated, throws his mouthpiece and gets ejected. And let's not get started with all the stupid turnovers. He has too many highs and lows in his game, but the real problem lies within his defense, or a lack thereof. Let me tell you, Jordan Poole is arguably one of the worst defenders this season. Poor rotation, lack of physicality, wrong positioning, you name it. Worst of all, he seems to lack the effort and the hunger that defines a good defender. These defensive lapses, coupled with his flaky offense, makes Jordan Poole the prime suspect for the Warriors' fallen dynasty. Yes, there are others on the roster with their own pitfalls, but the ripple effect of Jordan Poole's performances is too glaring to ignore. We all know Klay Thompson was on the decline. Arguably a top 5 two-way player when healthy, has not been the same since his back-to-back season-ending injuries. It sucks to say, but it definitely looks like the ACL and the Achilles tear have definitely taken a toll on him. Yet the Warriors gambled on a rising star. Enters Jordan Poole, who was supposed to be that supporting piece, stepping up into all-star stardom while Klay Thompson was in decline. In simple terms, they brought in Jordan Poole and paid him handsomely in the offseason because they wanted him to be the co-star alongside Stephen Curry to basically fill Klay Thompson's shoes and perhaps even pass up Klay because in some ways he's better offensively as he can create his own shot. But the problem didn't stop there. Their bench had lingering issues throughout the entire season, primarily on defense. In fact, it was so subpar they had to bring back Gary Payton. Now, their starting lineup did have some defensive powerhouses with Looney at the rim, Draymond Green's exceptional defense, and Andrew Wiggins as a solid perimeter defender. Although he did miss a lot of games, the Warriors knew they could count on him on defense when he got back, but the bench was an absolute defensive nightmare. Jordan Poole was expected to at least show some defensive strides this year, or make up for it offensively in a major way, which he did not. His lack of effort on defense and his shaky offense led to a bench unit that was far from effective. Poole is a competent passer, but not a standout one. He often seems to forget his role as a facilitator. He didn't put his teammates in the right positions to succeed. As a result, Their young prospects like Kuminga and Moody, who need a shot creator to get them a good look, found themselves struggling. No matter how you slice it, a lot of their issues on the team tie into Jordan Poole's expected improvement. His performance in the playoffs were even more concerning. Poole went from scoring an average of 20 points per game in the regular season to barely being able to make double digits. With terrible shooting splits, he wasn't just a disappointment, he was a liability on both ends of the court. This is the problem when you pay these young shooting guards so much. Players like Poole, Tyler Hero, they get overvalued in the NBA these days. Despite their lack of defensive contributions and their mediocre playmaking abilities, they secure some of the most hefty contracts in the league. The Warriors managed to conceal Poole's bad play and still clinch a championship last year. That's a testament to the team's tenacity, but it also led to Poole securing a generous contract that doesn't kick in until next season. With Draymond Green now on a player option, Clay's contract's due soon, and Jordan Poole's staggering new deal, it leaves us wondering, what does the future hold for the Golden State Warriors outside of Steph Curry? And that, ladies and gentlemen, brings us to the most important question of all. Is Jordan Poole the reason for the downfall of the Warriors? Or is there more to this story than meets the eye? If you enjoyed this video, please make sure you drop a like, subscribe, and don't forget to comment and let us know what you think about Jordan Poole. We really hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you guys on the next one.